Welcome, everybody, to hour 5 of our episode 50 1-year anniversary Mog Talk special. Today, we have some really cool people on the show. We have Ark returning. He was on the show recently. Not so old, but he's been with the show for quite a while. Quite a while. Thanks for coming on, man, and filling the spot.
No problem.
Kerr. We got Kerr on here. You guys have seen a little bit at the very beginning of the show. Filling in to talk about Mog Talk and kind of where it's come from and where we are at. Well, I mean, how we got to where we are right now. I don't know if that's going to be even remotely interesting. But after that, we have old school Gilly Valentine. I think you came on episode 2. Is that right?
I think it was episode 2.
Episode 2. Coming back to kind of talk to us a little bit about where you've been and where you're going and your past experiences with Mog Talk. I just wanted to have this show, and I wanted to have Adagio on here as well, but unfortunately stuff came up and he couldn't get on here. But that's all right.
Yep.
That's all right. Maybe another time in the future if he gets back into it after 3.2, right?
Hopefully. We'll see.
He actually talked about going back and starting and finishing off his anima. Is that what they're on right now?
Yeah, that came out in the
Face?
last patch. Yeah, it's not that hard. It's grindy. It's super grindy. But it is what it is. So first off, I want to go ahead and thank you guys for coming on the show. And I'm gonna ask a question, and this is most relevant towards Gilly. What have you been up to, man? What have you been doing? So when's the last time you actually even played Final Fantasy 14?
2 days ago.
Oh, really? Did you log in?
Yeah, I logged in. I actually had to renew my what you call it? How do I put this? Apartment rent. So I didn't get evicted from my house.
All right.
Did you? Okay, so when's the last time before that?
A month before that to do the same exact thing. But the funniest thing is like my Dragoon in my old static, Bake, shouts out. I see him in the chat. Asked me, he's like, "Hey, what the fuck? When did you come on?" I'm like 10 minutes ago. He's like, "Can you tank for me?" I'm like, how do I do this?"
Oh, man.
So I jumped in, and I think it was Snowcloak that I got into. I'm like, okay, this is a little rough.
No, it wasn't rough.
Yeah, I sat in I forgot like Defiance and fucking, oh my god, what was it called?
Deliverance?
Deliverance. No, it wasn't Deliverance. Was it Deliverance?
Deliverance and Defiance are the two modes.
Where you could switch between tank stances, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I
Oh
sat
my
in
God,
Deliverance the
Gilly.
whole time, and it was just like, I'm losing aggro to everything. I don't know what I'm doing anymore with my life.
Oh, what a shame, man.
Yeah, I lost it.
You lost it, man. That sucks. So basically, you're paying for sub to keep your house.
Well, I was actually gonna I thought I let my sub expire like a month ago or 2 months ago. I was thinking about just going to renew it, and then I was like, my house is the only thing keeping me attached to Final Fantasy right now.
Wow.
So I was like, all right, I'll log into Mog Station, see if my sub is up or if I can still do it. So I logged in, and I was like, fuck, it auto renewed for 900 days.
Oh.
Shit.
900 days?
Yeah, 900 days. I'm
So
like,
you're
well,
subbed for the game for the next 2 years?
pretty
3
much.
years?
Yep. And Jen saw that bank statement. I'm like, I don't remember when
How
that
much
happened.
does that cost?
I have
What?
no idea.
How did you
But
manage?
that's what it says. That's what it says. It says 900 days subbed on Mog
I
Station.
didn't know
I'm
you could
like,
do that.
glitch.
I thought you could
Yeah.
only pay for 6 months at a time.
That's what I thought too. But I actually got all of the veteran statuses, and I haven't been in the game for like, I don't know. Besides the last 2 days, I haven't been in it for like 6 months or
How
so.
could you be that dedicated to a game to say, oh yeah, I'm playing this for the next 3 years? Like that's a
Yeah,
weird option to
really.
even have. I didn't know that
Is
they
it
would
really
have that.
900?
I
Like,
think you're
that's-
BSing me, Gilly. I'm
No,
going with
that's-
That would
BS.
have to be. You could probably call them and like get
Hold
free
on.
game time if it's really 900 days, because that has to be something wrong.
let me log into Mog Station, and I will check.
All right, all right. While you're
Sure.
doing that, I'm going to ask a question here for Kerr, and this is just talking about Mog Talk in the old days and everything.
Mhm.
So I don't know if you remember, but and a lot of these are going to come off the wall, and I'm sorry if you're not prepared for any of them. Okay, so what did you think when I was like, oh man, I want to start a show that I do every week?
Well, at first I thought that'd be kind of weird because like I didn't know how to work out. I thought it'd also be kind of cool because look, your boyfriend has a show. How cool is that? It worked out. Like at first, when you did your first show, I wasn't too sure either because you got
You're
like some
like-
trolls. Like
Right.
it was, if you remember, it was.
I think we had 20 people watching at most. I think I don't really remember.
You basically had someone say that they wanted your penis.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know about this show thing, Mark. But like you kept going, and overall, it's been okay. We've met some really cool people, so
Oh God, yeah, it's amazing all the people that we've met
yeah.
over the last year, and yeah, I remember that. Something about they wanted my balls in their mouth. I think that's what it was. I think
Yep.
that's the exact statement.
Yeah,
I
I
would have
think,
known
yeah.
that 50 episodes later, you'd be the one talking about that kind of stuff on the show.
Yeah, you're like, can you remember when people said that stuff?
It was very memorable. It's very.
Maybe it was Gilly. Maybe Gilly came into the chat and he said that just to troll me.
Maybe. So yeah, it says right here, I am subbed for 3 more years, apparently.
That's impossible.
I don't think
It's
I don't think they're
active.
allowed to do that. Well, again, like I said, if that's actually true, you probably could get some money back or something,
Hmm.
because that's not right. I don't even
don't-
think they're allowed to put you like in like that locked contract for more than a year.
Yeah.
Like there's something about games not allowing that to happen.
Yeah.
Well, I know when I paid for my game sub the first time, I went for the whole year. And then I started doing like the thing where you just kept adding on like every 6
Why would
months.
you auto renew for like yearly auto renew? You would forget about that in seconds. Like I don't know. Come on, like, I'm debating your life choices right now, Gilly.
My financial choices are in your hands.
Yeah. I want to ask a similar question over the Ark, and you were talking about this earlier. When I got you to come on the show, I asked you in Ms. Tech's chat room.
No,
And I
it
was-
was Milo.
No, it was Milo's. That's right. It was Milo's chat room. I remember now. And I was like, I was just trying to find someone who led statics. I was like, anyone who leads a static, and that would come on the show and just talk about that. And I couldn't find anyone. I just said, all right, F it. I'm reaching out. I'm going to find anybody. I am so lucky that you responded to me and not just some random person that was just absolutely horrid. And then I was like, I don't know. I was just really surprised. And you were just like, yeah, I'm on board.
That was a real like stars aligned because I would not only was I just getting into streaming at that point, like just starting it out. So I just like bought my webcam like maybe like 10 days before I talked to you, and I was kind of starting to watch Twitch a bit more and State of the Realm and stuff. And then like you out of all the streamers that I had seen up to that point, you were the one who was like, I was like, oh, this guy's really
The
fun to
freshest
talk
in your
to.
mind. Yeah.
Yeah, well, freshest in my mind, but also just someone I was really interested in. I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch this guy a lot more. And before I got the chance to do that, you asked me. I got a chance to be on your show before I even could check you out more. So I was like, yeah, sure, why not? That seems like a lot of fun. I like talking about this stuff all the time.
Yeah. You are one of the most talkative guests I think we have to come on the show, and that's awesome, man. Were you just kind of, when you said that, you're just like, yeah, I jump on board. I'm good with that. It wasn't like any kind of weird thing, like, I guess I'll see how it works out. Or...
Like if anyone said that in the chat and I hadn't just watched them on State of the Realm and like agreed with how they did stuff and stuff like that, I wouldn't have done it. But
Okay.
it's just to happen to be you. There's probably like very few people who I would have accepted to do that, especially considering I was just getting into streaming at the time. So, like I might get completely trolled or something like that, or it might just like be a bad representation of me, like first impression as I was starting to get into it. But
So shout out to Happy for that too.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's awesome. Happy
Making
and
things
Milo.
happen, man.
Yeah, I've already thanked Milo for it when we did a show together, which is awesome. But
Yeah. Okay, Gilly. We now know you have very questionable life decisions that has caused you. I'm trying to multiply this in my head. Let's just say that you got a good deal and it was like $10 a month for 3 years. That's at least $360, isn't it? Around there.
That's still not bad, considering for other stuff I
For a
paid
game that you're not going to play. So I want to ask you real quick, what's made you stop playing the game?
I think it started when my raid lead decided to just stop raiding at all.
Mhm.
And with Exodus being very, having us X amount of hardcore raiding groups and stuff like that, it was kind of tough for me to situate and find another raid group, not to mention when that would fit with my schedule. Since usually I raid at like 9 p.m. PST until midnight my time, so it's rough.
Right.
And then after that, it was like after my main raid lead quit, I was like, okay, I can raid lead. We can find some other bard or a black mage and stuff. And we tried doing it, and it just didn't work. My dragoon decided to drop out, and he's still playing the game now, which is funny. My scholar decided to drop out too. Well, I was like, and then me and Jen kind of just sat back and we're like, screw it, let's just kind of take a break from raiding and stuff like that. And you know, I started capping esoterics every week, and that's all I started doing. Started to become a casual bear, which was pretty bad in my situation, because that's what I loved about the game was raiding and, you know, just hanging out with my friends, just downing content, getting the loot. So
I gotcha. Oh, so someone in the chat also said that might be total days subscribed instead of
okay,
because that would be a lot more.
I have a feeling it's illegal for them to put you in a contract that long.
Okay.
I'm pretty
I may
sure
have
that
to double check.
games would love to make it so you could buy their subscription for 5 years.
Yeah.
But there's a reason they don't do that.
Yeah.
Like 5,
Well-
10. It's like, would you like to pay for this game for 10 years or for life? Oh,
Well,
sure, I'll sign that.
Blade and Soul started doing it where I was like playing what you can pay for a year in advance. I'm like,
I
isn't
think
it
a
free
year's
to
the
play?
cap.
Yeah.
Oh, is it free to play? Oh, yeah, that's weird. Yeah. That's right. Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't catch on to that.
Gilly, I wanted to ask you as well too. So when I was first doing the show, and you came on an episode again 2, which I think was technically my 3rd episode if you include the pilot and everything. I saw you come into my chat a couple of times, and I was just like, all right, well, cool. And I saw you you did a stream as well, and we were trying to band together all the Exodus streamers.
Yeah.
It's funny because I was going through the videos, and I remember you listing off who were streamers on Exodus, and you said Blizzana, who I talked to a decent bit, and I thought that was kind of funny that when you said that, it meant nothing to me. She's like, all right, well, whatever, Blizzana, I don't care. But it was pretty funny.
Yeah. I
So
think Blizz was the first Exodus streamer that I've ever caught before I caught yours. I started streaming for a little before Allah, which was like I think when Happy was streaming, and then there was my first Dragoon in my first raid group was named Alakazor, who does Dark Soul speedruns now, who holds the world record for Bloodborne now.
Nice.
And he's partnered now with Twitch because of that. But I did mention Blizz because he was the first Exodus streamer I saw, and then I saw Frosty after that, and I was like, oh hey, Exodus streamer, cool. I get to see who gets to play on my server, and I'm like, shit, competition.
It's pretty awesome. Well, I mean, to think about it, it's pretty awesome that people, if you find someone on your server streaming, because you get to see them running around, and you get to see them in groups that with other people you might know, and it's kind of awesome just to see who sucks and who doesn't suck just because of their streams. But yeah, that was pretty neat. And you came on board. What was your first impressions after we did the first show there with you on there?
With me, I thought it had potential actually, and I'm glad to see that it's still going on. Like I still tune in every now and then. I'll pop in and just watch a couple episodes when I'm at work, just chilling. But yeah,
that's
I'm still
awesome,
here.
man. Yeah, I'm absolutely surprised. When I was joking about doing like a big stream on the 50th episode, I was like, yeah, if it happens, yeah, whatever.
I was expecting like a 24.
Yeah,
like,
I think Frosty would be
so
dead after.
all right,
24.
I'm gonna talk about that 24-hour episode. I was thinking about it, and I was like, there is not enough people that stream Final Fantasy 14 that I could get on the show, or that are big in the community that I could have a segment for every single for 24 hours total. And plus, I'd be dead.
Yeah. I was saying to you, I was like, man, if you're actually gonna do 24 hours and you're actually gonna have content for it, like that's 24 episodes of Mog Talk you just lost potentially.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
honestly,
rough.
I like the way that I set up this show because since everyone is an hour, it's like previews. And so, like, we could say, all right, well, we have this going on. There's still so much more time that we could put into the show. If people like it enough, we do another one. And so I think that that's the good thing. I'm not wasting ideas with this show. I'm not doing it. I'm just giving previews. Okay, so I wanted to also ask another question here, and I'm going to ask this of Kerr. Do you have any memories of Mog Talk that you're just like, this is one of my most enjoyable memories of the show? And you've been through all of these shows, so it's kind of hard to pinpoint that because it might mesh together. But
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, but I think overall my favorite was when we had like that giveaway, because we were actually giving back to the community, and it's kind of neat seeing how people would come out and go like, can you also donate this? I want you to donate this game to the community.
Oh yeah,
So
people were coming and giving us game
it's really
codes.
cool.
to give
Yeah.
out
That
to people.
giveaway was the best.
Yeah.
How you did that?
It was. Oh yeah.
It did not go well.
No. During that giveaway was different. That the
No, that's a
the
different one?
yeah. So I did a different giveaway on a different day, where I
mass
was just like
giveaway.
chaos mode. Type it in there. If I see you typed the right thing, I'll give it to you. Someone else might already typed it, but if I don't see it,
Yeah, that's
SOL.
Yeah.
It didn't go over that well, but I did a very proper giveaway on Christmas, and that was a lot of fun.
We had Cryo on that for that one, didn't we?
Yep, we had Cryo, and that's
Yeah.
I think it was second episode
Yeah.
when he was on.
Giveaways are fucking nuts.
Yeah.
I tried doing. I did two. One was I was giving away free Witcher 3 codes for the PC. I had like 6 of them, and I just gave out the full games. And I was like, "Fuck this!" I just started throwing the codes in chat. I'm like, "Here, go get it. Whoever can redeem."
Yeah,
it."
who gets it first? Yeah.
And then I did the same with the Division recently. I had like 20 beta codes to get into the Division, and I was like, "Man, I don't really want to do another giveaway like this." So I just went into some random streamer's chat and just threw the codes in there. And he's like, "Oh my god, this guy's crazy!" And they were spamming emails at me on Twitter and stuff like that. And I just threw the codes on Twitter as well. And everyone's like, "Wow, you're freaking crazy, man." I'm like, "Eh."
All right, Ark, do you have a favorite episode or favorite not episode in general, but a memorable moment of the show?
Oh man, I've been trying to think about it the whole time. I don't know if Gilly's looked like he had one. If you just give me a little more time to think about it.
Okay, Gilly, do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite memory?
Yes.
Okay, what is
Macho Moogle.
it? Macho Bugle. That was great. I can't believe how much of a response I got out of that. I didn't think it was really that ridiculous, but Kerr shunned me for a little bit due to it. She was not happy about the Macho Bugle. And it was funny because I put it in the trailer for the Mog Talk 50, and it was definitely one of the highlights. I made sure I got that one in there.
Mm-hmm.
That was great, and it was the macho healer because he would run around and punch people and heal them as a giant
Yep.
muscular Moogle.
I died when I saw that picture. I couldn't breathe. I was like, I gotta mute myself.
Yeah. Ark, did you figure it out?
This is the best I can think of right now is when we were doing the predictions of World Progression Raiders and how fast they would clear 3.0 content and how way off we were after that.
We're like, yeah, in about a week or two, maybe.
We were like fighting over
Oh, I
the
was saying
days
like,
and
yeah. It
Oh,
was
wait,
like
who
going to be
won that
Wednesday or
bet?
Thursday.
Who won that bet, by the way?
Not even
Nobody,
cl-
because
no
we were
one.
not even close. Because we were thinking it would be like in the same week, right?
Yeah,
But
we thought it was gonna be
it
the
took
first
5
week,
weeks.
And I was like,
Right.
oh, I think that Hardcore Raiders will have it done by like Saturday or something like that. And you were like, oh no, it'll be a little bit. No, and you thought it was like gonna be like Thursday or something.
Yeah,
like that.
Thursday.
You were like, oh yeah, no, they'll get it done in a couple of days. I'm like, I don't even think that's ever happened before, and this is supposed to be a bit harder. And I'm like, I'm talking like that, and then and of course it's like what 3 weeks? How long was it later? Like 4 weeks later.
Yeah, it was. It was.
So
pretty
it wasn't
crazy.
even in the. We were arguing about days in the first week, and it was really the question was how many weeks will it take?
Yeah.
It's funny.
All right. So, Gilly, I want to ask you another question here, just because it kind of relates to you the most. So, have you seen the 3.2 trailer? Have you seen any new information with Final Fantasy?
I saw that big goblin or gob thing.
Yeah, one of the new Savage fights.
The Hulk gob.
Yeah,
Gob Hulk.
giant Frankenstein goblin. Yeah.
I look cool. When I saw that, I was like, okay, I'll give you props for that. But
So-
who knows? It might be a reskin of the boss in. Oh my god.
Brave Fox?
Brave Flux. Yeah, that big guy in the arena where you have to fight like the random healer, tank,
Mhm.
archer, and
Oh,
stuff
that's-
like that.
The Holotali hard mode is what
Oh,
you're
it's all hard mode. There you
Manticore.
go.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, that guy.
All right. All right. Well, did you not see Voltron? Did you not see all the other stuff that was going on in the trailer, man?
Wait, you got Voltron?
Yeah, it was basically one of the bosses in Alexander Midas is these robots that form together to make one big robot. And there's one's
What?
arm, one's a leg, one's two are arms, two are legs, and then one's the body.
And
was
I
pretty-
didn't watch Power Rangers, but someone was also saying the colors were right too
Yeah.
for making Voltron. 'Cause
Yeah, it was like-
each part is a color, and they said the colors were correct for
Oh,
making
Yeah.
that's
Voltron.
fast.
So
Yeah,
I don't know if that's true or
Megazord.
not, but I
Yeah.
guess it is really Voltron.
Man, I kind of feel like you need to watch that episode, that trailer.
I'll have to
Gilly.
go check it. Yeah, I did read the patch notes. Like I saw everything. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. That's
With
There's a
3.1,
lot of
talking
really
about it.
cool stuff coming out in 3.2. A lot of
So-
really neat things.
Are they still keeping the Savage thing going?
Yeah,
But
it's still going to be the same way that they did it,
it's
but
like
it's going to be easy. Apparently, the DPS checks aren't going to be a big deal, and so it's going to be more mechanic heavy.
Yep.
And so, like, you go in there, and it's not supposed to destroy groups. It's supposed to just like, be a fight that you have to learn and figure out without putting in like all the like super grindy stuff to clear it.
Yeah, the disclaimer here is that there will still be a DPS check. It's just like gonna be there for like a week or so, and it's only like you'll be able to outgear it very easily. And it's probably the DPS check is there when you're like doing mechanics poorly, and it's like you don't know them too well. So it'll feel very similar to like Final Coil or Second Coil. Maybe the DPS checks will be a little bit harder than that, just because of like level 60 changes. But yeah, it like you'll a couple weeks, like if you're a mid-core or a casual player, it'll feel a lot like Second Coil, Final Coil. I think it'll be a little bit harder if you're a hard or like a world progression raider, just a little bit harder than Second Coil and Final Coil was.
So Gilly,
That's what I'm thinking.
what would bring you back into the game?
Samurai.
Samurai really said you need
Oh.
Samurai to happen in the game. Okay.
If
It's
it
almost
comes back.
100% though.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
That's very likely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't hesitate on that answer either. If Samurai does come into the game like soonish, I probably would have just stuck around. And
I
just
think
keep
it's going to
playing.
be 4.0 is what I. This is my
Yeah.
guess. I don't know if this is going to be true. But when we're talking about it, I'm expecting 1 to be released before the expansion happens. I think it's going to be Red
really?
Mage. Yep, I'm going to think it's
Okay.
going to be Red Mage. They're going to apply Red Mage to the game. And then they're going to have kind of a balance between what they've released in DPS and everything else. Red Mage is going to be a heavy DPS class. And then I think or Blue Mage, because they were kind of hinting at it. I don't know. They might bring Blue Mage in some way, because they need another caster. They need a hard caster, I think. And then 4.0 is Samurai and some sort of healer. Maybe not a healer. Maybe at least I know Samurai will be there. I don't know what else would be there though.
Dancer. Please.
Maybe Dancer. Yeah.
Dancer would be a really cool healing class. Heal with TP.
I don't know if they'll
But-
be there by that time, but
But I'm very skeptical of the job before 4.0, just considering how hard Ninja was for them. But I mean, I'd love it. It'd be the greatest. If it's true, we should be hearing about it soon, because this is about the time we were hearing about Ninja, shortly after 2.2.
right.
We heard about Ninja coming out in 2.4.
I
so-
think they're gonna. I know they said that they weren't gonna do it, but I think they're gonna cave.
All right, we'll see. I'm gonna disagree with that one, but just
Yeah.
because that would be rough, but I would love it if it happened.
Okay.
But yeah, Samurai is almost 100% in 4.0, so there
Yeah.
you go.
They haven't leaked if it was gonna be tank or DPS, right?
No, yeah,
Yeah.
it's sounding more like I'd say 60% chance of it being DPS, 40% on tank, just because they didn't were considering making it the tank of Heaven's Ward, and then they decided to go with Dark Knight. So it's like maybe it won't be a tank after all, but it would be a cool tank.
They're not releasing 3 during the expansion. It's gonna be 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that they would do 3 again because they said they weren't going to do 3 again.
Oh yeah, because it was a little too rough, like trying to balance out the queues and stuff like that. I think that's what their idea was, right?
hmm
To keep the queue times to a minimum, which I still hear is pretty crap right now.
They're better than they used to be.
After playing Final Fantasy this long, I don't think about it anymore. It's just like, oh, well, yeah, if you're a DPS, duh, it's going to take a little bit longer. Sometimes not. Whatever.
But I got to comment on what Gilly said about waiting for his class to be put in the game. That's actually something that would have been kind of rough on me too, because I was playing Black Mage when the game first came out, and even when 1.0 was out, I was like, where is my rogue or closest thing to a ninja in this game? And I was just playing Black Mage. I didn't like it as much, but it was the job that I liked the most out of all of them. That was currently in the game, but I really wanted to play a Dex job, but all there was Bard. And then Ninja was coming out before the expansion, and I never even saw that coming. And I was like, "Holy crap!" And like I've been dedicated to the game since, right?
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to ask another question over here to Kerr.
Yep.
We talked about our favorite things about Mog Talk. Was there anything that you were just like, I hate this? I can't believe this was done. And don't say Muscle Mog.
Fine. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I didn't quite like hosting. That wasn't my most favorite moment.
So hosting the Healer show was like the worst moment, you think?
Well, it's not the worst, but it was pretty bad for me simply because like I was so nervous and like we kind of just rushed through the show. It could have been a good like 2-3 hour show, but we kind of finished in like an hour. So that sucked. But I mean, like I don't really have any huge regrets overall with any of the Mog Talk episodes.
Yeah.
So other than that first one where the guy was like, you know,
The guy was
Now that
making
guy
you
is
jealous.
trusty, though. No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, thinking about that whole decision, it's like, I know people love you, Kerr. They want you on the show. They want you to be on the show. They think you're a great person. They want you on there to do stuff. But it's really hard to jump into the seat and just drive. Like, when she saw, like, all the things I have on my computer, she was just like, I don't understand any of this. This doesn't make any sense. Because I keep lots of windows up here. And so I try to make it just like click, 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 and that's all you gotta do. You don't gotta do anything else. You just click, and now next 2 hours just sit there and just let it be. Don't ignore all the little things that are off to the side, and just let it happen.
Yeah, it's like he's conducting an orchestra because there's like so many windows. There's like 20 windows, and you have to keep it in a certain order.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I can't think about that like right now.
Because like the chat will disappear if it's not the first window. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. But yeah, I think people would still want to see you more on host more shows, but maybe we'll double team it next time.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll double team it. Gilly, was there any time that you're like, I can't believe I have to go do this thing. I don't want to do Mog Talk right now. This is like the worst thing that I've ever had to deal with. Did you have any of those really high negative moments during the show? You look like an easygoing guy.
Wrong button.
Yeah.
Not really. I don't think I've ever really felt that way. Like when you asked me to come on the 50th show, I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I'll come do it. I have time.
Yeah. I love that, man. Again, I wish Adagio was here so we could have, because that would be like a huge throwback to have him here too. Man, we went through so many phases with the show, trying to build it and create what it is today, which is still melding and being molded into something else. And if you weren't there, you and Adagio weren't there to help me just have somebody to be on the show before we were even like remotely noticed by anybody, then it would be kind of crappy. I'm really glad I could have got you on the show so we could keep things moving. I always had someone that I could say, all right, let's get on the show, let's talk about this, and let's make it work. So I definitely appreciate your support, Gilly.
I was glad. Like I really had, when you asked me like, who could we bring on the show? I'm like, I have nobody. To be honest, I'm just like, I just barely met you.
You're right.
And then I talked to Adagio because Adagio was actually talking to me about streaming, like I think a week before you asked me that. And I talked to Adagio and he's like, hey, come on the show. I mean, you have only streamed like 2 of our raids, but fuck it, come talk.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm glad we're able to get that. And now, are you still trying to be a Halo guy? Are you like mastering out Halo?
I still play. Unfortunately, I had to hang up that chapter in my book because one of my 3 of my teammates, actually 2 of them, one of them got married and they're pretty much brothers. The other one actually went to college in Colorado, I think. And then my cousin is actually in the process of getting his degree for real estate or trying to get a real estate license. I don't know what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's who I was actually playing with, and we pretty much, our schedules didn't match, so we had no time to practice. We've won 3 online BG tournaments, which was actually pretty nice because they put some money in our pocket. And yeah, it was pretty fun for a while, and then I got to the point where my cousin started getting frustrated, and the other 2 guys started getting frustrated as well when we were playing, and our teamwork went from being fun to basically trying to choke each other at the same time.
Oh yeah, I mean that happens with raids too.
Yeah.
Well,
it happens with any teams.
Yeah. You start just wanting to kill each other. You're just like, I can't believe you messed up that landslide or whatever. I'm tired of doing this. If you would have just not messed up that landslide.
On the mind right now, right? I wonder
yeah,
why.
Definitely on the mind after that show. All right, so I want to ask you guys. This is kind of just a question to see where you guys would want to actually see the show start doing topics on whatever it might be. So I want to start with you, Ark. if you had to decide a subject for a future Mog Talk and you're like, I want this to happen, something that you can't think of that, you know, the show has done before, is there anything that you're really, really interested in hearing people come on and discuss that you feel has been missing?
I think this is like this will be very general, but just like thinking off the top of my head, and it's kind of some stuff I was talking to you before. I'd like to see some more, very similar to what Xeno just came on and did, but something that's a little bit more interactive. Maybe with like something that's maybe not necessarily a discussion, but like a demonstration, and or even like something that's challenging the a little bit more like improv or ad hoc kind of like so like a game where like you're asking questions or something like that, or something that's really interactive with the viewers where they're kind of creating part of the show as it goes along, which is something I'm gonna barely touch on the one that I'm gonna do,
Right.
but very 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 small amount, but yeah, I'd like to see like not everyone, because I love the discussion. That's really the best part of Mog Talk, but it's just here and there have one that really experiments and throws like a wrench in everything, and kind of gets some variety to it.
I would love to get more interactivity coming from the chat, because the chat's great. They come in,
yeah.
they're watching the show, they're supporting us, and so I would love to find more ways for them to interact with the show without it being completely, them being part of the discussion. And that's why I try to have, question gathering. And it's extremely important to me that we have people like Kerr kind of supporting that and helping get these questions, because I can't do that while having the discussion. Chat is flying, and I'm just sitting here trying to make sure I absorb everything that's being said in here so I can have a decent response as well. And so, yeah, I think that's something I want to go forward with. I probably need to get some more mods to get in here and kind of work on that too.
Yeah, just the concept of like every 10 episodes you experiment with something, or even maybe even more than 10, but just something very different, It'd be kind of almost like a show, like a little bit less of a discussion and more of like a show to watch for a little bit. Yeah.
All right. Kerr, do you have anything you're like, I want to see this happen with Mog Talk?
Going back to the interactivity thing, I'd love to see like more viewers on the show. I know it's like taking kind of a risk because you don't know what they're gonna do or if they can talk, but maybe have just like a kind of like right now where you just kind of have a toss-up episode where viewers can come in and talk about whatever they want, and you just expand on that. Just like chill out or something like that. That'd be pretty cool. Or have more discussions on community. That'd be nice, because you have different types of people playing in the community.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, it would be awesome to kind of do that too. I feel like I need to dedicate another day to that, because those spots would fill up a lot quicker than the spots we have going now on the show. And I feel like if I tried that a little bit with Denz, where he just hopped into TeamSpeak and just ranted about what he wanted to rant about with me one night while I was streaming, and that was pretty cool. I think I would have to have a different platform than Skype. I think Skype has too much risk with it, and I feel like I need to get something that's a little bit safer. And if I did that, then that would be actually a pretty awesome idea. Because I love that when I was here an hour early for the show, Gilly. I don't know if you saw that, but I started the show an hour early.
I saw it pop up. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Am I late?
Yeah. And so I was just like, oh, crap. So a whole bunch of people just jumped on a Skype call, and I was like, all right, let's just talk and sit here and kind of relax for a little bit while we still have the show going on.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. Like, you could just have, like, one guest or two guests on, and then you just have viewers come on with their webcams, and they get, like, a little bit of time.
See, that's the risk with the webcam. It's like, I don't want to see anybody's junk.
Okay, you got a point there.
People could come on and troll really, really easy with the webcams. I can't let them control images. It would have to be just voice. So when they start saying a whole bunch of random crazy stuff, it's easy to kill it, and it's not so bad. But I'd get kicked off of Twitch if they came on, and they're just
you're right.
Miyuni called in, and he's like, hey guys, and he just stood up and he dropped his pants or something. And I was like, all right.
Okay.
Well, thanks, Miyuni.
That's a good point to make. You're better at the internet than I am, because I'm too trusting, obviously.
Same.
So yeah, the voices, but still it's just the back and forth between the viewer who's asking the question and the people who are answering it, because sometimes we answer the question and we're like, does that answer your question? Oh, we'll just go to the next one, and they like 30 minutes later they're like, no, it didn't actually. So it'd be good to get that, like, even if it's just a short segment where someone comes on and asks, that's good. And I think like people are saying that it's
maybe I can get people to like get on a pre-approved list. Like I can say, all right, well, yeah, this guy comes in all the time. I trust this guy. I know he's not going to do something horrible, and I can just have them kind of come on. But even then, people could play me. They could be nice
yeah,
to me for
sure.
like a couple months, and they're like, "This is the part where
I
I'm
got
gonna
this long
show."
game going on here, man. Like you don't even know about it. I'm like, I was thinking like I'm gonna be good for 3 years, and then you'll never see it coming.
Yeah. Yeah, Ark, you're gonna troll me one day. Like, you're just gonna get up and it's like gonna be the biggest point in the
4
show.
years.
Episode 100. You're gonna do it. Episode 100. You're like, so congratulations. And you just,
Bad.
Yeah.
Gilly, I know you haven't really been able to keep up with a lot of stuff recently, but especially with Final Fantasy and all that. Is there something that you want to see that it'd be really cool if it was a new segment on a show or something else that we could do?
Kind of like what Ark was saying, and a little bit of what Kerr was saying too. Just like what you're doing today. I mean, you're just pulling callers. You had a set
Oh
group
yeah.
of people to actually come on the show. And I recently discovered Discord, which is actually pretty nice.
They don't do video, right?
Well, not necessarily. They don't do video, but
voice,
it would
yeah.
actually be good to, like, let's say you're streaming Mog Talk and then you have your host on,
Mhm.
and you have just your viewers jump into Discord. It's like, all right, I'm gonna give you the password, jump in. We're gonna ask you questions, even though you have a webcam. Let them know who you are, where can they find you, stuff like that, and then just ask them questions. We were talking about this topic. What do you think about it? Or let us know
Right.
what you want to talk about, stuff like that.
All right, so interactivity is like the goal we're going forward with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like what they do with celebrities when they show up at like cities on their radio talk show or stuff, something like that.
Thank you, Barbara. And by the way, all whispers are going to show up on stream, so if you whisper me, you're not really hiding anything. Sorry if that was your intention at all. Maybe you just didn't want to get banned. Maybe that's what it was. But anyways, yeah.
It's
Go ahead.
definitely harder to do the interactive show though. Without a doubt, that's why you wouldn't want to do it too much, right?
Mhm.
It's hard to react to things on the fly when you're trying to run a show, and so we don't want to kill Frosty more than we already are today.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah. We got episode 6, and then hour 6, hour 7, and then we have the conclusion. So we have estimated after this one 2.5 hours at least left on the show. God, I need to disable whispers. I'm gonna get trolled so hard, and now that I said it, it's gonna get trolled even harder. I know I am. But yeah, guys. So let's see. Let's check a couple things. There's something I want to check out real quick. What would you guys right now, Gilly? Would you come back if Adagio was like, "I got a full group"?
No.
No. You still no?
Just
It's like you're done.
If I will make one stipulation, I
Okay.
have to tank with Adagio.
You have
I
to
would
take.
He's the only, like, I've tanked with 3 different tanks ever since I've played Final Fantasy, and Adagio is probably the only It's like a barber. Like, you never go to a different hairstylist or whatever because you don't trust him with your hair. That's Adagio to me. It's like I
That's
don't go to anybody else but Adagio. I mean, he sucks at DPS, but I know he can live. That's the thing.
Yeah, you guys worked really well together. You fit together for tanks. Yeah. Recently, I started healing with Kerr.
Oh,
yeah, so
I saw that. I thought that was like. So is that what you guys are running with the group now? You're not playing Machinist anymore?
Yeah, no more machinist for now. It's going to be my alt. I'm having a good time healing with Kerr because I feel like that adds a new level to us playing the game together.
Does she hate you yet?
I think sometimes I can see it in her face. Sometimes when I'm streaming,
Oh,
like when I
yeah.
mess something up, she's just kind of like,
It's not
Yeah.
to that point yet, but
yeah.
It was funny last night. I saw Kerr made a mistake. She was in cleric stance, and the tank was dying. And then Frosty went to cleric stance also after she said she made a mistake, and she's just like, "You need to heal right now, Frosty." You were like,
Did she say that? Did I completely ignore that?
She
Maybe,
definitely
I
said you
might
need
have
to
said-
heal. You need to. Yeah, you're taking the orbs or something. No, it was when you got to the Nessie part,
Uh-huh.
and you like passed a
Oh,
bunch
yeah.
of Nessies around. Sorry, that's it. And then you went into cleric stance after you guys.
And we're
passed a bunch
passing
of
Nessie to
around.
everybody. I
And
didn't know
she's
that's
just
how the
like-
mechanic worked.
She's just like, you have to heal yourself.
because
like,
you
I
passed
was like
it to
watching him
someone,
like, yeah, you do.
and you both were taking like dot damage, right? And I was like, I can't heal both of you right now. I have to get myself as well. And like everybody's taking damage.
Because I thought, Nessie got, it counted down, right? And if you pass it to someone,
Well,
that
it
maybe,
hits hard.
yeah, it hits it hard. It puts the full stack back on there, and it's just like pretty rough.
Oh, it's the best. It's gonna be good to watch you guys heal together.
Yeah, I'm
So
looking forward to it.
Did you just barely start healing?
Yeah, just a few weeks ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and we're on A4S, and I was able to heal all A1, A2, and A3. successfully, just like working with Kerr. I think our communication like pretty much trumps any experience I might have with Scholar, because she tells me exactly what she needs me to do, and I make sure I do those certain points, and then I just try to make the best and make things better after that, and see where I can optimize going forward from that. It's going to be different doing progression though, because we're both learning at the same time. But
Have you guys already cleared A4 Savage with your
Nope.
or A3 Savage with your group?
Yep, we've cleared A3. We've had it. It was weird how we cleared it. I cleared it with Kerr with 6 pugs.
Yeah, I saw that. Like I saw their VOD on that.
Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous. I was dead, I think, when we cleared it, but we cleared it. And then after that, I cleared it again with most of my group, and then I slowly got more people into my group, and we cleared it, and the entire group cleared it eventually. But A3S was definitely a murderer of statics, and it tried to kill my group. It really did, and it would hack off a couple of members at a time. So
yeah, it got pretty close for us, I think, but
Mhm.
we persevered.
we persevered. Yeah,
That's
so,
good.
and I'm pretty happy about that, and I like the people we have in there, and we're trying out this new guy that seems to be working out pretty well.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that works out. Look forward to that, guys. Maybe we'll get A4S before the patch. I highly doubt it, but you never
10
know.
more days.
As long as you
10
keep
more days,
trying.
right?
Yeah, 10 more days. Yeah, and so we have 2 more nights to attempt it.
It's all valid.
Maybe
You're all in.
Sunday. Yeah. But all right, guys. I think it's about time to wrap this segment up. It doesn't feel like it's been that long, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I was
catch
actually
up.
nervous coming on. I'm like, holy shit, I have stage fright right now.
There's no reason to have stage fright. Back into the old seat there, Gilly. Should be used to it. No, but you're not used to tank anymore. I guess you kind of get a little rusty with being on the
It's
show
like
too.
baby steps.
Baby steps.
I'll get back into it.
I'm
Yeah,
happy.
get
to see
back.
I'm happy to see you around all the time. You know, like you
Mhm.
poke your head around here. This is good.
Yeah, you didn't bail on the community. You're just like,
Yeah,
all
no,
right, I'm
you're
gonna
around
be
the
here.
community.
You can always catch me in Pook stream.
Oh,
actually.
yeah.
Awesome.
Every morning,
Okay.
I'm always in there. I'm just like,
Oh,
Yeah.
shout out to Pook, definitely. I try to catch him in the morning when I'm work is a little bit slower. I can get in there and watch him. He's really just a normal thing. You just go in there and it's a social atmosphere for like 3 hours. I think he has a great thing going on. I definitely support with what he's doing. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the wrap up here. Ark, are there any shout outs that you want to give to anybody before you're gonna be back here in an hour
Yeah,
or so?
I'm gonna get double shoutouts now.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do double shout outs. So shout out this time.
All right, I'll shout out to, of course, Diablo server and everyone from there who came to support MogTalk and me. But you didn't know it was coming on, so you probably didn't come to support me here, but you will
Yeah.
later.
Right.
Yeah, and everyone who's gonna be on coming up after me, and everyone who was on before me. Thanks for coming on.
Alright. Kerr, it seems kind of weird asking you to do shout outs, but
it's
would
all
you like to
good.
do any shout outs, Kerr?
I'm gonna shout out Ark for coming on last minute for us, because that was really nice of him to do. Gilly for making it, and of course Frosty TV for hosting this for like 10
Aw.
hours.
It might hit that point. It's really getting there. Especially since I started an hour early. I still can't believe I did that. You don't know how hard I laughed after that. Gilly, any shout outs you want to do before you head out? Is there anything with Final Fantasy that you really pay attention to? Besides Pook, we already did a shout out to Pook. Oh, you're muted. There you go.
Oh, I did it again. Okay,
Yeah.
so shout outs to my free company that's still alive.
With 3 people, Dens, you and Adagio probably. I think that's all.
No, it's actually Dens and 4 of my trainees. Like I was trying to teach them how to do Final Coil before I quit. That's what
Oh.
happens. And shout out to Exodus. Shout out to my clan on Blade and Souls, Gamble. Some of them are in here watching. I don't know what else. My old Halo team, Utah Noobs.
Utah Noobs, nice.
Jen,
Yeah.
Frosty,
Oh.
Her,
thank you.
Paul, Ark. I
What,
mean,
Paul?
give
Oh
me
no! No! It's okay. Yeah.
and
When
shout
they
out
said
to
my
the-
name earlier.
Shout
and
out
it's
to the
like,
Final
whatever.
Fantasy community for sure. I mean, I'm glad you guys kept Mog Talk around. That's what kept Frosty kicking. So
Yeah,
I
you
was a
guys
little
definitely
sad that I
keep me
left
going.
the community, and I was like, damn, I'm not gonna see those people again. And then I
Oh,
was
we
like,
were all sad. We were all sad,
Yeah.
but you're
Yeah.
still around.
Yeah, you're still around.
You didn't really
Uh,
leave it.
You just went on the more viewership side of everything.
yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
filthy casual.
Oh, casual podcaster. You only come on once in a blue moon. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap everything up. Thank you guys for watching this segment of Hour 5. we are going to head into hour 6, which we are bringing on Layla and Miyuni. They're going to come on from the World First group for A4S to discuss the current rating scene. And definitely excited about that, guys. If you're at all interested in rating, I definitely say recommend you staying in for just maybe at least another hour or two, because you want to catch the Sub Jobs show with Ark when he comes back on here.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting one.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's do our byes. Wave. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. We'll be back. Stay tuned. Don't leave or anything. We'll be back.